Hey, today we will be seeing the app to-do list. How to do this to-do list. Now here we have the screen. If you see, we have the designer part and the blocks part. To-do list, the table, the more like the entire view of this is to add the list of tasks to be done per day. So today, what are the tasks you have to do? You have to add them using one add button, and then this will be listed in the list view. And once you have done, you have to click onto it and mark as done. So this is quite simple, and we are using some added blocks in this, which I'll be explaining you in the blocks part. So let's come on and start to do this app. I've opened a new tab. Let me keep it parallelly so it is easy for you to refer and do it. So now the first one, open a new project. So go to projects, under projects, click on to start new project. Once you open a new project, here in this new project, we are going to the user interface. When you click on to user interface, all the elements will, all the components will be enabled to you. Now drag and drop the label part in this. So you have the label. And the next thing is we have need a text box. Add a text box. Wait. So add a text box below this one and button. We need add a button here, task button. And this one will be list view. List view is under the user interface. Drag and drop it over here. It is initially the default color is black, but you can change it to different colors. And last button is another button. So this is the entire view. Now I want this screen to be in the center. So click onto the center and I'm aligning it to the center part in the properties. So all comes in the center part. So the title will be changing it to the title. Scroll down the label to-do list app. So the size of this one will be 30 or 35 will be fine. And I can make it bold. Background color of this, okay, if you want to make the screen color background, click here and change the background color to orange. Orange or it will be fine with pink, okay. Now we have the labels, like we have the text box where you can add the items. Go into the text button. So this button is to add. Here I'm going to change it into 20. And this one is add button. Next, the list view. List view, you can change the color into different colors. List, or we can make it a cyan. Yeah. And then this one, this button is to remove that, or to, we will be using this one as mark as done. Mark as done. And the size will be 20 here and bolding it. The font style is a bold. Here also we can make it bold. So this is the overview. This is the overview of the list to-do list bar. Now next we are going to the blocks part. In the blocks part, we are going to have initialize global task list. So for that, first go to variables. Variables is in case of coding, variables nothing but the values of which keeps changing. That's called variables. Say for example, when you have in a match, in a tournament or in a match, where the values, the scores of the person keeps changing. First, one person can be higher, the next, the opponent can be higher. It keeps on changing. Also, in the cricket match, what you're seeing, the scores keeps changing every time, after every over. So just the same way, variables are one, whose values will keep changing. And this one in the variables, we are going to take initialize global. In the name, in the part of names, we are going to change it to task list. Task underscore list. So this is the first step. And go to the list part, create empty list. Add and drag it over here. So this is the step one we have to do. Once you've added this under the blocks, now we have two buttons. Both the buttons has to be worked on. And the button's name I didn't change here. Okay, add button, click here, rename it to add button. Click on to OK. So click on to mark as done. This one rename it to Mark as done. Okay, so we have two buttons. Now in this initialize global task list, so creating empty list, this is done. Now two buttons, add button, click here, then scroll up, go to when add button is clicked, we have to add the items list. So list, add items to the list, add it here, go to the list and add items list. Now we need to add the task list what to be added from the text box. So here when you scroll your mouse over here, can you see get the global task list. So drag it and add it over here and then text box text. So what has been added in this text box should be added to the list. So go to the text here, text box text, scroll down and you will be having text box, your text box text here added to the item. So now whatever the item being added, it should be listed in the list view. So go to the list view, set list view elements. Elements, list view elements. We have list view, list view to be arranged in as an alphabetical order. So set list view elements to the get global task. You can copy this or you can go again here, drag this and paste it to global task list. Now here something interesting feature, what we are going to add in the screen is called database. If you see under the thing, database will be there. User interface, scroll down. The database will be in the storage, yes. Storage part. So TinyDB. DB is nothing but database. The full form of DB is TinyDB. Let me close all these things. So I will have only the database. TinyDB, drag and drop it here. So this TinyDB, what I have over here, so this acts as a database. So go to the blocks and now you have TinyDB. Now call this database or whatever the value being added, it should be added into the tiny database. Now in this part, there is a tag and value to the store. What values are adding in the text part, the listing text box, it should be added to the DB. And from the DB, we are going from it should be listed in the list part, list view. So here, the task. So take a blank one and add it to the tags. And here we have the tasks. And get the global variable here. From this, get the global task list. And finally, we are going to set the text box text to blank. So once the data has been added from the add button, you're taking the data from the text box, then it is added to the button. When you click on the add button, from the text box, it should be blank and then it should be added to the list view. That is how it works. So if you see here, set text box. Text box want to text added over here and this one will be the text. Okay, so this will be the add button. Now add button is done. Add task is completed. Now we are going to the done task. So the mark is done. This button I'm going to add. Now in this button, we are going to remove it. Go to the list here. So whatever is being done, we have to remove it. So remove the list item. And then the same here, the global task list. So go here, get the global task list. So list view, we are going to take the list, whatever the list in the thing, it should be removed. So list view, selection index. I'm just going the list view, selection index. So this one. Now set the list view elements. So the same thing here, what you have to the global task thing. Control C and Control V, you can add it over here in this. So it is again from the list, we are going to remove whatever been marked. And what is there in the database, the DB also has to be removed. So call tiny thing, tiny database. store value, the task and get total. Okay, this entire thing we are going to use it over here. So take our text box, add it over here, and then get the global data list, global task list, and change this here to task. And once this is done, so this is the coding part. So once this is done, so designer part is done and the blocks part is done. In the designer part, the bottom, you'll have the TinyDB. Now you can do the connection part. Connect AI companion. If you click, you will get the QR code. So connected with their mobile, a app, AAT, MIT app, AI2 companion. You can add it to that. Once you've connected, you will be seeing like this. Let me show you the output screen. So this is how it will look. So we can add here. This is a. I hope you are able to hear the sound. 1 minute. So after you scan it, you will be able to hear the. Just share the sound. To-do list on the screen. We can add the list of things to be done. Add task button. Water plants. Go for walk. Complete assignments. Then feed the pet. Organize room shelf. So likewise, you can list things. After listing, if you are done with feeding your pet, click on to feed the pet and mark as done. So that will be removed. Then organizing of the room shelf is done by the end of the day. You can click that, mark as done, that will be removed. So this is how the app works. Hope you are able to understand this one. So yes, I think this is the app. Try to do and let me know.